Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well. Today I'm starting to film my next few videos. Over the next kind of week I need to film like 3 videos so that it means that I can have a chilled Christmas and not have to worry about uploads and just need to get it all scheduled, and it's gonna be really stressful, but I'm gonna do it because I have some really good ideas planned, this being the first. So if you watch my last vlog, you will know that I got a new tattoo, these dragonflies on my arm. I absolutely love it. It's still healing. I only got it, what was it, a week ago? So there's still a few bits that are like, you know, when it peels. But yeah, so this one's still healing. But I basically thought, now that I've got 3 tattoos and in my time, and in the last few years I've had, altogether I need to count how many piercings I've had and also the ones that I've taken out. So 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 piercings I've had I've had 11 piercings in total. So I basically thought I would do a video inspired by Sophie Floyd, all about my tattoos and piercings. I love watching these videos on YouTube. I don't know if anyone else has this like weird obsession with tattoo and piercing videos, but I just absolutely love looking at what tattoos people have got, hearing how much it hurts, because obviously like I want to get more myself, and like different places on your body feel different as well. So really hope you enjoy the video, and yeah, I'm gonna just chat shit all about my tattoos and piercings and how much they hurt and what the price was like and all that fun stuff. So yeah, hope you enjoy the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get into it. So I'm going to start with tattoos just because I feel like that's the most interesting bit, and I feel like people aren't going to want to like wait while I talk about my piercings to hear about my tattoos. So I'm going to start with the first one I got, and that was this rose on my arm here. So I got this tattoo in May 2018, I believe, so a couple of years ago now, and it literally cost me £40 because it's tiny. It's about, how many centimetres is that? I don't really know, but it's like this big, on my arm. And it cost me £40. I got it done at a random tattoo shop in Oxford where I went to uni, and yeah, it really wasn't that painful. It's also not done that well. I mean, it's cute, but I kind of wanted it to be a bit more, I don't know, just something a bit more. But I loved it at the time. I probably would get it like added to. I think that I would get detail added to like the top bit of the rose. I mean, the stem is absolutely beautiful, but the top bit, I don't know what it is. I just don't love it as much as I used to. I think it's because I've had other tattoos now, and I've seen how detailed that they can be, and I now want more detail added to that one. But yeah, in terms of first tattoo, this was a really good one to get because it literally took 10 minutes. It was painless. It just felt like scratching, like it literally felt like someone was like doing this on my skin. And yeah, like that position is really, really painless. Like if you're gonna get a tattoo somewhere for your first tattoo, I think the forearm is probably a good place to get it. A lot of people that I've spoken to as well really didn't think it was painful on the forearm. So yeah, if you're gonna get a first tattoo, that's probably where I would recommend getting it, because you kind of like get a feel for what the pain is like, but also you're not going to be like scared of getting tattoos. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that cost me around £40. Really wasn't that painful. I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10, probably like a 3. It really wasn't that bad. And yeah, I found it really easy to heal. For all of these tattoos, I will kind of go into like how I've been recommended to heal them at the end of this little tattoo bit, after I've spoken about all 3, and then I'll go on to my piercings afterwards. So the second tattoo that I got, this is gonna be really hard to show you. I will try and insert a better photo, but I have it on my left. My legs are hairy as well, I hope you don't mind the angles right now. My legs are so hairy. My left shin, and I'll insert a photo, but it's a leopard in a barbed wire heart, and I absolutely love this tattoo. I got this done by Lauren Scarrett at Magnum Circus tattoo place in Cheltenham, and she was amazing. This was on her lockdown flash sheet, and I basically messaged her and was like, I need this. This was like back in March or April that I messaged her saying like, I need this. I put a deposit down, booked it, and it got pushed back a couple times, but I did end up getting this in, I think it was September. I believe it was September. I was meant to get it in like May, and then I was meant to get it in July, and obviously lockdown and tattoo places weren't open. But yeah, I love this tattoo. I paid £20 deposit and then £50 on the day. No, I don't remember whether I paid £30 deposit and then 40 on the day, or 20 and then 50, but I know that I only paid 70 altogether, and I was expecting to pay about £80, so I was really happy with that. In terms of the pain level for my shin, I wouldn't say that it was like overly painful. Like, I was quite comfortable having it done. It actually wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, but on like the inner bit here and like at the bottom where the like bottom of the heart kind of comes in on my shin, like right next to the bone, that was a bit sore when she was doing it, but like I would say that was probably still like not that bad. And I don't know if it's because my pain threshold is like up here. I've had operations, and therefore I feel like I've got a bit of a higher pain tolerance than the normal person, or like I know that pain is going to end. Like when you get a tattoo, you know that in an hour or however long it's going to take them to do that specific piece, it's going to end. Like, you're not going to be in pain for the like a week or whatever. Like, that's not how it works. It's just like a temporary pain. And I think because I've had operations, I know like that I've experienced pain that's lasted a long time, and therefore it's not as bad to me. Like mentally I can kind of overcome it and be like, okay, it's actually not that painful, it literally just stings a little bit. But yeah, the shin, I was really surprised it wasn't more painful than it actually felt. I was really expecting it to be like the worst thing in the entire world. A lot of people had said to me that like the shin is really painful, but I really didn't find it that bad. I'd probably rate it probably like a 5, but then some areas were maybe a 6. But like I say, the pain is so temporary that it doesn't really matter. Like, I don't really think about how painful it is, because I'm not thinking, oh my god, when is this pain going to end? I know exactly when it's going to end, because I know when she's going to be done with the tattoo, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I highly recommend Magnum Circus. They were really good, really professional, and they were really lovely in there, and their art is amazing. Once I've spoken about this, I will speak about the meanings as well, just if you're wondering like what each of them meant and like why I got that specific tattoo. These are beautiful. Sad Girls Tattoos did this for me last Sunday, and I wanted someone that was like a certain kind of black work artist to do this for me. Like, I wanted them to be able to like put their own kind of touch on it, and she definitely did that with these. They kind of look almost a bit gothic, and I love that. I think that they're really pretty. So this cost me £30 deposit and then 50 on the day, so £80 altogether, which I think actually for this is quite big. I wasn't expecting it to be this big. I was expecting it to be a bit smaller, and then actually when I saw the design that she'd done, for the size to be like full of detail and all of that, I wanted it to be a bit bigger. So this was £80. The pain, the worst out of the 3, definitely. This hurt a lot more than my shin, and that really surprised me. But I will say that this area, like the inner bit of your arm and up here by my armpit, was really sore. Like, I was literally like wincing when she was doing it, whereas this one, because it's like a bit more on this part of your arm, really didn't hurt at all. Like, it was more the bits that are closer to the inner bit of your arm that were painful, and then like this here was like, I didn't even feel it. So yeah, like again though, it's a pain that's bearable. It's something that doesn't last long. I think this took her like an hour and a half maybe, just with shading as well. Like, it has got shading in it. But yeah, I think pain, yeah, out of 10 was probably like a 7. In some places maybe an 8 or a 7.5, but like again, it lasts like 5 seconds, the pain, so I wouldn't really like put it that high up on a scale compared to like normal pain. But in terms of tattoo pain, this one was the worst. I'd probably say maybe a 7, whereas like the shin was maybe a 5 or a 6, and then the one on my arm is probably like a 3, like I said. Yeah, I got it done at Lucky Rabbit Tattoo Cult in Birmingham. She was great. Sad Girls is brilliant. She has like 12k followers on Instagram, but yeah, her art is fabulous. She's really nice as well. We talked the whole time, and she brought her little puppy along, which was really cute. And yeah, basically every tattoo shop I've ever gone to, they've been really good, and they've never tried to sell me some kind of overpriced tattoo healing cream. Like, I just don't think that you need that. And in conversations with tattoo artists as well, they've always said, like, honestly, you don't need to be sold that. Just use cocoa butter, make sure you clean it with unfragranced body wash, which I use the Sanex one. I think if you literally go into the shop, it's called like Sanex 0%. I'll insert a photo of what it is here or link it below. And then I literally use a Nivea cocoa butter. It was like £2 in Superdrug. It's like a 98% natural organic cocoa butter, which is just what the tattoo artists have always recommended to me. I like clean it twice a day and then moisturize it maybe 4 times a day, three to 4 times a day, whenever I feel like it's dry. And yeah, it's peeled really nicely actually. Like when you moisturize it, you'll find that like it rubs off like a bit like a rubber, you know, in school, like when you rub the pencil and that like leaves that like rubbery kind of stuff on your paper. Well, that's kind of what comes off this. It almost looks a bit like that. It's just like little black bits, which is the top layer of the ink coming off. It's like scab, I suppose. But yeah, it's really, really painless, the healing process, and I don't think it's too tedious either. It usually takes up to about 2 weeks for my kind of peel to happen. In fact, most of it's already peeled already. It's been quite good, this one. It's healed really quickly. Finally, on the tattoos, I want to talk a bit about the meanings. So I'll talk about this one first of all. My middle name is Rose, Jessicaroselander, and it kind of runs in the family. So like my nan is Margaret Rose. I don't know why my nan, for some reason, didn't give my mum the middle name, because it just ruins the firstborn like girl kind of line of roses. But my nan is Margaret Rose, and then her mum was Ethel Rose, and then her mum was Rose, I think. I think it's my great-great-grandmother who was Rose, the original Rose, who started the Rose middle names. But yeah, I just got that just to kind of like remind me of family. Also think Rose is really pretty, so it's kind of a coincidence that I have the middle name Rose and that it runs in the family, and therefore I wanted to get a rose. In terms of the leopard on my leg, I originally kind of wanted to get a leopard, and I was just waiting to see if any came up on flash sheets, if any came up, like if I saw someone do a leopard and I was like, oh my god, I can ask them to do one similar or like tailored to me. And then the reason basically was that I have suffered with anxiety and kind of feeling not good enough, and I've talked about this in videos before. I think I go through phases of being really low, and I wanted to remind myself that I'm good enough and to never change. And in that sense, I wanted a leopard because I thought of the saying, a leopard never changes its spots. That kind of like really resonated in me. Like I really just thought, I think a leopard would be really like fitting to go with that kind of saying, and to go with like the way that I feel, and just to kind of remind myself that you are enough. Like, don't ever change yourself. A leopard wouldn't change its spots, so why would you change yourself? And then when I saw that flash sheet, I was like, I need one of these. This goes perfectly with what I want. I mean, I don't have to have a meaning for any of my tattoos, but I just happen to have a meaning behind the 3 that I have so far. And finally, the reason for this is that dragonflies are very much something that reminds me of my mum. She loves dragonflies. She literally buys dragonfly bed, like duvet covers. Like, she's just a bit obsessed. Anything like nature related, my mum loves. And there's 3 because I have me, my sister, and my other sister. So there's 3 of us, and it just means I'll have my mum and my sisters on me forever. Isn't that lovely? I want to try and do piercings quickly because I feel like I've been talking for ages, but I definitely want to get across like everything, like cost, pain, all that fun stuff, reasons for getting them and stuff. Anyway, piercings are a bit more like, I don't really need a meaning to get a piercing. Like, it's just a fucking piece of needle going through my ear, just a bit of jaw in my face, do you know what I mean? I guess I'll start with the first one that I got done, which obviously for most people was my lobe piercing. I got this done when I was about 7 or 8 years old in the summer holidays at Claire's. And I haven't taken it out. I've had them ever since. This is, you know, they've stayed there this whole time, I've not had any trouble with it. I did get an infection when I was younger. I think I'd had them pierced for a couple of years, and I don't know if it was like the earring that I was allergic to, but I got like a bit of a like crusty ear and like bit of my neck here, and yeah, it was really ugly, but that wasn't anything to do with the piercing. I don't think. It was just to do with the fact that I was wearing shit jewellery. Not really that painful, because I had it done with a gun, which actually is really frowned upon now. Wouldn't do that again. Yeah, the next one I got done was my helix up here. Sorry if I look absolutely horrendous because I'm so close up right now. Yeah, the next one I got done was my helix, and I actually had it done slightly higher up the first time, and they did it with a ring, and you're not meant to do that, and it basically got a really big keloid, which is basically a lump of like skin on the top, and it got stuck in my ear. Had to have it taken out, and I left it. I was like, I'm never getting it pierced again. And then I decided to get it pierced again. Went slightly lower down because obviously I didn't want to go up here because that was where it had been like infected or whatever. Got the keloid, and I didn't want to like go through the same bit of cartilage again. And I got it done with a bar, and I never had an issue with it the second time. Always recommend never, like I would never ever get anything pierced with a ring ever again. Like always a bar. Start with a bar. I know you want a ring, but would you rather have a piercing that heals nicely and then you can put a ring in it in a few months' time, or would you rather have a big fat lump on your ear and it's a waste of money and you have to take it out? At the same time that I got my helix done the first time, I got my nose done as well. This was probably one of the more painful piercings that I got, and simply because it's on your face, like it does hurt a lot. My eyes were watering the whole time. I also got this done with a ring, which is also really bad. Wouldn't recommend. Always get it done with a bar. But it actually healed fine. It wasn't that bad. The next one, what did I get done next? I think I got my seconds done next, and they got infected, and one went into my ear. I was like asleep one night and I woke up and the earring had disappeared, and I realised when I saw the blood dripping down the back of my neck that, yeah, it was stuck in my ear. So I took them both out, was like, I'm never getting them done again. And then I ended up getting them done again last year. No, oh my god, it was this year. I got my seconds and my thirds done this year in February, so not even that long ago, and they've healed really, really nicely. They were actually really quite painful though. Probably in fact, I would probably put it up there with the pain of the nose piercing. I would say it's worse than the helix to get your lobe done with a needle, because the first time I obviously got my first lobes done, it was with a gun, and the second time was with a needle, and it's just so much more painful. Really found it quite sore. But yeah, I got my seconds and thirds done this year just because I was like, it's about time I get it done again, but I just had so many bad experiences before that I just didn't bother until this year. But yeah, they've actually healed really nicely this time. I tend to just have a stud in this one, and then these rings stay in all the time in my second, and then I don't really keep much in this one unless I'm going out or filming a video or whatever. The final piercing that I still have is my outer conch, I think this is called. I think it's called an outer conch. So I originally wanted my conch done, and I was like, actually don't think I'm prepared for the pain of that, or the healing process. So I decided to get my upper conch or outer conch, whatever it's called, done instead. This wasn't painful as such, it was just loud. Like, your cartilage literally pops when they put that needle into that area of ear, and yeah, it's really, really strange. I would say it's more of a discomfort than a pain. I wouldn't really say it was painful, but it was sore when it was healing, because obviously it's like behind your ear, you get like warm back there, like it's quite hard to keep as clean as you would with a lobe or like something on your face. I paid for each of these probably around £25-30, standard earring price, I suppose. Finally, for my piercings, I did have my nipples pierced. Got both done in, when was it, 2017, the Christmas holidays. In fact, it was on New Year's Eve, and the first mistake that I made was drinking alcohol that night. You're not really meant to drink before or after, for a couple of days before or after a tattoo or piercing. It's an open wound and it makes healing a lot slower. So once they actually finally healed, which did take you know, a good couple of months. I was, you know, putting the salt water solution on them twice a day, making sure they were really clean, and they finally did heal. And then last year, I think it was, they just started like, it's gonna sound disgusting, but they started bleeding, they started pussing, like it was disgusting, and for no reason as well. They'd been fully healed for like over a year. In fact, no, probably longer than that. And then end of 2019, I don't know what it was, they just decided to hate me, and my body rejected them. And I now have 2 scars on my nipples where I took them out because I wanted to be able to do normal things and not have my nipples hurt all the time. And I don't know what it was that kind of made them do that, but I've heard a lot of people say that that happens with nipples sometimes. I wouldn't even bother going to get them done again. I actually much prefer my boobs without them in, and also it wasn't worth the discomfort. Like honestly, having to worry about like what top you're wearing because if it's gonna snag on your nipple piercings, it's just not worth it. Like I don't know, like the pain probably wasn't as bad as you'd expect it to be when I got it done, but at the same time, like £50, also you're gonna like breastfeed and stuff, and I just thought I'm gonna take them out whilst I'm having a hard time with them and just never get them done again. But yeah, I would say out of all my piercings, my nose was probably the worst. Then getting my seconds and thirds done with a needle was really painful. I would honestly put that up there with like the high levels of pain from piercings that I've experienced. And then probably my nipples like on par with that, and then helix and upper conch, and then finally the like least painful would be my first lobe, because obviously it was done with a gun. I hope that this kind of gave you some insight into tattoos and piercings and like the pain levels and like whether it's worth it or not. In terms of like piercings, I think the only ones that I would say aren't worth it would have been my nipples. I just don't think I would spend my money on that again. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to see it when I post. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.